pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mikey Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. 1-0. A walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
The Dodgers get beat down by the Cubs. Former Dodgers Cody Bellinger, Michael Busch, they do damage to their old team. Walker Buehler's postseason roster status could be in jeopardy. We got a Teoscar Hernandez injury update. All that more coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
Another payoff. Benny got him with a slider. Mikey Kershaw. It's Teoscar Hernandez. Mookie masked. It's a grand slam. 83 to stop it and game ender.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for joining us after the Dodgers lose to the Cubs by a final score of 10-4. They've dropped to 86 and 58 on the season. Still 5.5 games up on the Padres in the division. That magic number is now 14 because the Padres do hold that tiebreaker. Big story tonight, though, was Walker Buehler. Before the game, Dave Roberts told us that Walker Buehler had an opportunity to make this postseason roster and be in the conversation to really solidify a postseason start. And that has to do with the fact that Gavin Stone is out with the shoulder inflammation. He's not set to pick up a baseball for another 5-6 days. Clayton Kershaw dealing with that toe injury, the bone spur in his toe. He's unable to push off. He's still throwing, but still there's a lot of uncertainty with him. Bobby Miller hasn't performed to the point where you could say, okay, he could be a Game 4 starter. And tonight, Walker Buehler having some momentum after looking pretty sharp against the Angels, building up that start against the Orioles. Well, tonight, he takes the loss. He goes 5 innings, gives up 5 runs on 9 hits, had 4 strikeouts through 86 pitches, 64 strikes. And you look at the swing and miss, just 8 swings and misses for Walker Buehler in this one. The first pitch strikes, Buehler 16 for 23, but really the issue is that first frame continues to be a problem area for Walker Buehler. The ERA now after tonight and the first inning, it's almost 10. The batting average is almost 400. So he's getting pounded there in the first inning. And we saw more of the same. He gives up a leadoff single to Happ, and he had him down 0-2 in the count. That leaves that knuckle curve a little up, a little out over the plate. Happ takes advantage. Next batter, Swansea grounded to a fielder's choice for the first out. They get the lead runner at Happ at second, and then he strikes out Suzuki, swinging with a 4-seam fastball, top of the zone, well located on the corner. That was a sign that, okay, maybe this could be his night. The swing and miss early, but very next batter, Cody Bellinger, old friend, he hits a 2-run shot. A 2-run bomb, 4 belly, 430 feet. The Cubs up early, 2-0. And if you look at this pitch right here by Walker Buehler, and it's right on the outside corner. Bellinger gets extended, and you look where the catcher's set up. I mean, they want it down away, and he leaves it up badly. And Bellinger punishes it. Goes for a 2-run shot. A belly bomb at Dodger Stadium wearing blue, but the wrong blue. And after that, you're saying, okay, you live with that. It's a 2-run shot. It's Cody Bellinger. He ambushed it. Totally fine. But then next batter, Isaac Paredes, he doubles to left, and it was 11 pitch at bat. He fouled out 5 pitches during that at bat, getting that pitch count up already. And then next batter, old friend Michael Busch, starting at first base for the Cubbies. And on the 1-1 count, he singled to right to give the Cubs another run. So they get 3 in the first. They get 3 runs on 4 hits, the Busch single, and the belly 2-run shot. So not a good start for Walker Buehler. And top of the second, he did settle down. He goes 1-2-3. He benefited from a double play, gets a Maya to ground into a double play, struck out Happ, so feeling better about that. Top of the third, another 1-2-3 inning. He gave a one-out single to Suzuki, but then gets another double play, gets Belly to ground into a double play. So the first inning, 26 pitches. The next two combined, 19. So he did settle down. You got to give him some credit for that. And then top of the fourth inning, he strikes out Paredes to start the inning, and then some more former Dodger on current Dodger crime, the 2-2 count to Michael Busch. He crushes the bomb, a changeup to left. Kind of a strange play there where Chris Taylor looked like you could have some type of play on it, really, but I mean, it was definitely a strange play and another home run for the Cubs and Michael Busch in this situation. But, yeah, I thought it was a little odd right there how Chris Taylor played that one. But you look just like that, and you're staring at a 4-run deficit. And if you're Walker Buehler without the run support, well, hey, you're going to struggle. I mean, it's tough in those situations when you could lose an early lead, but then you put yourself behind the 8 ball by giving up those 3 runs early on and giving the solo shot. And then he does come back out in the 5th inning, give him credit, goes 1-2-3, strikes out Suzuki again to end the inning. This time did a much better job locating that knuckle curve out of the zone, getting the swing and miss with it. And then top of the 6th inning, Buehler back out there, and he walks Belly on 9 pitches, and then Isak Paredes on the 1-2 count. He singled to center, and his night was over. So just not a encouraging start for Walker Buehler. At the end of the day, he can say that he feels good about certain things. He's encouraged about certain things. And, yes, we did see a significant increase of his knuckle curve usage, and it did look like he was really turning the corner. I mean, last 3 starts, you saw the whiffs and the swing and miss, and that definitely was starting to grow, and the velocity has been there, but still, at the end of the day, this just kind of feels like, you know what, you're putting yourself in a difficult position, and I don't think that you can claim that Walker Buehler gives you a better chance to win than Landon Knack does. So that's where we're at. We have entered the could Landon Knack start a postseason game for the Dodgers conversation. And I'm here to tell you that if I had to pick between Landon Knack, Walker Buehler, and Bobby Miller right now, I have to go with Landon Knack based on their current pitching status, how they performed in their most recent start. So let me know down below in the comments section, what are your thoughts on Walker Buehler and how he pitched tonight? We got BC and Taylor Swift equals schedule loss. Ouch. What's up, BC? Yang Yi, Dodgers have only 2 starting pitchers. Brandon sent Buehler to Double-A. He stinks. Okay, it's a little rough. Dylan McKee, Buehler. Knack, greater than signed Miller, greater than signed Buehler. Turning the corner, still not getting results from Ricky Lopez. We got Michael Moran. If Walker is on the postseason roster, he better not be a starter. That's from Michael Moran. I just think that if he's not a starter, though, I mean, does he really need to be a reliever, though? I mean, I think it's starter or bust just with the way that he has shown the inability to command the baseball. I don't think you could trust him in a spot. I mean, would you feel good about Walker Buehler coming in a high-leverage situation when you truly have better options in the pen? I mean, you're going to get Bruce back, Joe Kelly. I mean, who'd you rather have, Joe Kelly with the upside potential? Yes, the command issues have definitely impacted his performance in a negative way. There's no doubt about that. But still, I mean, it's Joe Kelly, man. I mean, the stuff, the horizontal break, the velocity. I just think it's starting pitcher or bust. And right now, I don't think that he has earned a spot on this postseason rotation as it stands right now. So, I mean, look, Buehler needs to go. DFA Buehler. I definitely don't feel good with Walker Buehler as a reliever. Kelly Oshiro says, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a decoy a bone. It's a comment of the show from Kelly Oshiro. What up, D-Mac? Can I get a bruh? You want a bruh? Got you, man. Extend Jack. Yeah, hey, absolutely. Best years of Buehler are behind him from Gary A. Alex Renteria. Joe Kelly gives me the chills in the playoffs. He's scary AF. But the upside is there. The upside potential, if you look at his numbers and Joe Kelly and what he brings to the table, he still definitely offers the chance for an extremely high ceiling pitcher who's pitched well on the biggest stage before. And you can't discount that. You cannot dismiss or minimize that at all whatsoever. He's still in the 98th percentile in fastball velocity for relievers at 98.3%. And also you add the horizontal break on his stuff. I mean, his changeup. 17.9 inches of horizontal movement. That is elite. I mean, the slider, 9.9 inches of horizontal movement. That is elite. So the movement's there, the velocity's there. I just think that if you're comparing kind of some of these final bullpen pieces versus a depth type of starter, they give you multiple innings. I just don't think that Walker Buehler right now inspires very much confidence. So now I also want to point out too, the MV3, they did their thing tonight. The MV3 certainly gave this team a chance to win. And that's why it's frustrating because, look, I mean, you give yourself an early deficit, and the first inning woes like we talked about for Walker Buehler, where his ERA is close to 10 in the first inning, the batting average close to 400. Look, you put your offense in a tough spot, having to come to the plate down 3-0 and just facing deficits. And look, I mean, they got to hold on to their end of the bargain and lift the pitcher at times, but still, I mean, it's tough. And it reminded me of the postseason last year where starting pitchers were really putting this team at a major disadvantage at the plate. But yeah, the MV3, they did their thing. Like I said, Shohei Ohtani goes 2 for 4, had a walk, also stole his 47th base, so just 3 stolen bases away from 50 swipe bags this season. Mookie Betts, he goes 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, had a home run and a walk in this one. And Mookie Betts, I mean, he's been sensational of late. Mookie is an absolute groove at the plate. And he's been a beast. Last 7 games for Marcus Lynn Betts. 7 home runs, 26 RBIs. He's slashing 440 with a 517 on base, and he's slugging 1,000. So Mookie is certainly really locked in at the plate, seeing the ball very, very well. And look, I mean, like I said, they had an opportunity to put some runs across, do a little better job, but outside of the MV3, not very much production. Combined, they had 5 hits, 2 walks. Freddie walked 3 times. The MV3 loaded the base 2 times tonight, but Pages later in the game, you pinch hitting for Freddie defensively, comes in there, and then Max Muncy, he had an opportunity tonight, and you were hoping that he could come through in a big spot. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to capitalize in an inning where you really felt good about where the Dodgers were at. I mean, bottom of the 5th inning, Chris Taylor, he reached on an infield single. Then next batter, Shohei Ohtani, 2-1 count. He singled to center. Then with runners on the corners, Mookie Betts, 2-1 count. He singled to center. Chris Taylor comes across to score. The Dodgers get their first run of the night. It makes it 4-1 in the 5th inning. So lots of time left, lots of outs left to go out there and make a run of this one. And the next batter, Freddie Freeman, he walks. Mookie Betts goes to second, and you got the bases loaded for Max Muncy, and Craig Counsell, he elects to change. Hendricks, who literally is the worst pitcher in baseball, and he's out there looking like a Cy Young Award winner. He was stifling this Dodgers lineup. He was absolutely navigating his way through this Dodgers lineup, making them look like they were not a good offensive team, and he was a good pitcher. When we know both of those are the opposite. The Dodgers are a great offensive team, and he's a bad pitcher. But tonight, the results were there. But Counsell ends up going to Thompson with Max Muncy at the plate, 3-1 count, and Max Muncy, he hits a sac fly to left. The Dodgers get a run across. So at least you look productive out early in the game. You cut that lead from 4-1 down to 4-2. So you cut that lead in half. You're trailing by 2 runs. And that brings up Will Smith in a big spot. Runners on first and second. Falls behind the count 1-2. Fouls off 3 pitches. And then strikes out swinging, chasing at a sweeper that was a little off the plate there. So couldn't capitalize there. And then top of the 7th inning, after Buehler was pulled by Dave Roberts, Anthony Bonda came in, and Bonda, with runners on the corners, Michael Busch gets another hit in this one. He singled to right to score Bellinger to give the Cubbies another run. They take a 5-2 lead at that point. He does get Horner to line into a double play, and Paredes doubled off third there, so that definitely was a really nice play there by Max Muncy. Max Muncy did a fantastic job getting that double play there, showing that athleticism. So that's 2 games in a row where Max Muncy has really flashed that athleticism. And the next batter, Crow Armstrong, he singles to left. And that sets up the Cubs with another opportunity. The runners on second and third. Amaya at the plate. 2-1 count. He singled to left. That plated another 2 runs for Chicago. They go up 7-2. So they get 3 runs on 4 hits there in the 6th inning. Anthony Bonda, hey, you got your lefty and Alex Vesia, who's been really great this season. Anthony Bonda has been really great as well. Do they take them both, though? Do they take him? But makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. I mean, all these guys are competing down the stretch. And then bottom of the 7th inning, we talked about Mookie Betts after Shohei Ohtani first pitch leadoff single. He ends up getting to second. He was safe on a fielding error there by Cody Bellinger. So he takes full advantage. And Mookie Betts, 3-2 count. He crushes a bomb to left 390 feet for a 2-run shot. And just like that, it's a 7-4 game. You're thinking, okay, let's find a way to make this interesting. It was Mookie's 17th home run of the season. And like we talked about a few minutes ago, he just continues to rake since returning from the injured list. But then you just really couldn't do much else after that. Freeman, he draws a walk. Muncy, he strikes out swinging. They go to Armstrong. And a couple batters later, Edman, he singled to right. They got runners on the corners with Gavin Lux at the plate. 3-2 count. He strikes out swinging. So we've seen some moments where Gavin Lux of late swinging and missing big spots there. But they did get 2 runs on 3 hits in the air. But they get one right back there in the top of the 8th inning with Nick Ramirez on the mound. He gives up a 1-out double to Michael Busch. Michael Busch in his absolute bag tonight. Give Michael Busch some credit. Just going out there, making a statement against his former team. And I know people say, oh, I play like this at every game. No. These guys, they want to definitely dig deep and say, you know what? Hey, you should have kept me. You should have kept me. And Michael Busch, he goes 4 for 5 tonight with a home run, a double, 3 RBIs. He looked great. He looked really, really fantastic at the plate against his former team. So got to give him some credit. So then Horner, next batter, with Busch at second. He singled to left, and Busch ends up at third. So they got runners on the corners with Crow, Armstrong, and he hits a sac fly to center to score Busch to put the Cubs up 8-4. Then a couple innings later, top of the 9th inning, they add some more runs with Nick Ramirez still on the mound. He gives up a 1-out single to Dansby Swanson. Then a couple batters, then Suzuki grounded to a fielder's choice, who ends up and then Suzuki ends up stealing second. Swanson stole third. And then Bellinger, another base hit for Belly. He singled to center to give the Cubs another run at 9-4. And then Paredes, next batter, he had a sacrifice fly to add another run. So 10-4 over and out. The Cubs were on top in a big way. And bottom of the 9th inning, Dodgers not doing much, and they lose by a final score of 10-4. But I guess if you want to find a positive in this one, I mean, yeah, you talk about a schedule loss, and you talk about not having an opportunity to win because of the pitching disadvantage that you were in on this one. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a night where Nick Ramirez, you could see Nick Ramirez saying, okay, hey, pitch Nick Ramirez tonight, and then we're going to just DFA him, right? We're going to DFA him. And then tomorrow, with Yoshinobu Yamamoto back on the mound, hopefully he can go 3-4 innings if he's efficient, but you are going to see a lot of the Dodgers' best relievers tomorrow, and they are going to be available. You're going to see guys like Michael Kopech and Evan Phillips and Alex Vesia. I mean, they have the full complement of bullpen arms, Blake Trinan, and they're going to need it with Yamamoto there. So, yeah, I see people freaking out on X. Hey, D-Mac, why? You gotta manage this game like it's Game 7 of the World Series. That's not how this works. It's the regular season. You can't do that. You can't do that, okay? I mean, it just, you have to definitely take into consideration that, hey, I'm thinking about Yamamoto's first start. Nick Ramirez come up. And whatever you give us, but that game was out of hand early on after Walker Buehler did not give them enough. So it's unfortunate. We all love Walker Buehler. We love what he's done for this team and this franchise. But right now, you got to earn it. It's a performance-based business. And Walker Buehler, hey, the audition, he had a chance to really kill this audition, and he did not crush it. And look, I mean, he might just by default finds himself pitching in the postseason because of the Dodgers' injuries. But definitely, hey, I just want to plant my flag here. I am on the Knack team, the Knack attack, okay? Landon Knack deserves more consideration. What's up, CA? I want to love you, D-Mac. Look at you, brother. DFA Banda, Angel Escobar. I love Supremus over on YouTube. Rich Hill just got released. Just saying, hey, who knows? Honestly, hasn't looked great, but depending on how things look in the next couple of weeks, I mean, hey, I wouldn't put it outside the realm of possibility. Alex Renteria, the control, D-Mac, it's all about the control in the playoffs. Yeah, like I always say, if you want to be the man, you have to have the command. And yes, the velocity is there, but the command isn't. And he's just not putting the ball where he wants to put it. It's as simple as that. And you saw in the home run early on. I mean, let's take a look at it one more time. I mean, that's a pitch that we know Cody Bellinger can crush. When he can get extended on a fastball that he can handle up and then boom, 96. I mean, you want it low and away? Okay, let's leave it up where you can extend. I mean, that's just not a well-executed pitch. It's not a well-executed pitch. Then the Bush home run in the fourth inning, he gets ahead in the count, so that's check one. You feel better about your chances when you throw strike one. He was certainly ahead in the count. He does lose him a little bit, and Bush is able to even the count at 2-2. And on the fifth pitch of the at-bat, change up in the zone, and he crushed it. He absolutely crushed it, and look, he gets a home run off it. So, hey, it's a hot night. They're taking advantage, and look, I think the other concerning thing is just outside the MV3, just not a lot of production in big spots. And we talked about it, 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Mookie Betts in those situations, he goes 2 for 2. Mookie is hitting .384 with runners in scoring position this season. Max Muncy had the big opportunity. He goes 0 for 1. Rojas goes 0 for 1. Chris Taylor goes 0 for 1. Will Smith goes 0 for 1. And Gavin Lux goes 0 for 1 as well. But are you guys with me on Landon Knack starting? I mean, honestly, at this point, depending on who you get back, I think that right now it's important to, at the very least, make Landon Knack feel like it's a very realistic possibility, because you can't just say, oh, in a couple of weeks when we're getting down to it, then we realize it, then we want to communicate that to him. No, you need to let him have the mindset now, knowing that there's a very real possibility that if things go wrong, and we've seen it happen with this team, I'm not trying to catastrophize or be a doomer here, but you have to plan ahead. You absolutely have to plan ahead and make sure that all these guys realize that. D-Mac, if I see you at the game, should I introduce myself as my name, Rick Donut Smasher 1? Yeah, absolutely, Rick Donut Smasher 1. It's the only way to do it. I'll give you a little fire take for that. Michael Kopech and Trinan should be promoted to the starting rotation. Interesting idea, Will, but unfortunately, they are not built up for that, so that isn't going to happen. But how about this, though? I mean, Kyle Hendricks, this season, he's been awful. He's been terrible. He's been literally the worst starting pitcher in baseball. And you look at the ERA, a 6.60 ERA, a negative 1.8 WAR in 107.2 innings. And yes, we know that the Dodgers, they are every team's World Series. But still, you let him go 4 1/3 innings, got just 4 hits off of him. And, I mean, too much soft contact and not enough good at bats. I mean, what do you make of that? It just... you can't have that. I mean, we saw that in the second game of the Angels series. I mean, this offense, it feels like, yes, we saw from the MV3, they did their thing, but they got to lock in every single night. I mean, they have to realize that you just have a couple weeks left in this season, and then you have the long layoff. So do you want to hit that 4-game layoff that's going to feel like 4 months and not be in a groove? You need to take advantage of every single at-bat, every single pitch, and put yourself in a good position to head into that break, so you can give yourself the best shot of having success in the postseason. CA, you're crazy. Glenn, Muncy only 1 RBI with the bases loaded twice. Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, we talked about this, but that's really the tough situation right there. I mean, once you get the sac fly, and then you're feeling, okay, it's a productive out. But the number one takeaway tonight that you really look at as far as this offense and what they're missing is yes, you are missing Teoscar Hernandez. And you can make the case that he is as important to this lineup as anyone outside of the big three. He truly, truly is. There's no doubt about that. And Dave Roberts said there's a good chance he could be in the lineup again tomorrow. So that's definitely some great news. And the Dodgers certainly have honestly gotten some breaks. They really have. When you look at Brusdar Graterol, and it looking like he was going to have a grade 3 hamstring strain, and then it became a grade 1 hamstring strain, and he could be back this week. You look at Teoscar Hernandez. Look, if he fractured his foot, if it was broken or anything like that, he's done for the season. At the very least, done for the NLDS. And then this team, I think, is in trouble. But just imagine if those Max Muncy at-bats tonight were replaced by Teoscar Hernandez. Because Max Muncy, batting cleanup tonight, he goes 0 for 3, had the bases loaded a couple times, got the sac fly once, but just did not do enough in those situations. The Dodgers lead 10 men on base. So, hey, now we know what this team looks like without Teoscar Hernandez in the lineup, and I just don't want to see that again. We got the Dodgers trying too hard. Sheesh. That's from Cesar. Carl, why is Ramirez pitching? He is horrible. Look, it comes down to bodies. I mean, you need bodies. You need guys to cover innings, and that's just how it is. That's baseball for you. And look, they selected his contract, a lefty from OKC, and that's definitely something that they needed. I mean, he can give you length, and they have some flexibility on the roster coming up, and you're going to have Brusdar back. His rehab assignment was done after just 2 games, and there was a chance he was going to be activated today. Hopefully we see that tomorrow, because the team plans to activate Yoshinobu Yamamoto to start on Tuesday. And Ramirez, by the way, he has been optioned already 4 times this season, so he can be optioned one more time before he has to go through waivers. They DFA'd Michael Peterson to make room for him on that 40-man roster, who was DFA'd back in July 30th, and then end up accepting that outright there down to AAA after he ends up clearing waivers. But really, the point of this is all that, look, the Dodgers are playing that game where when you need someone to come up and pitch, they'll do it, and they're not afraid to DFA someone, even if it's just for one start, one opportunity. So it happens. I mean, just look at Brent Honeywell. Brent Honeywell was DFA'd around mid-August, and then he accepted that outright too, and they called him back up. So the Dodgers are going to play this game this season. It's because of injuries. It really is. It's because of injuries. So they need more help, and they got that tonight. And guys like Nick Roberts and Nick Ramirez and Brent Honeywell, they're going to fall into that category. But, yeah, it was disappointing tonight. It really was. I mean, I'm starting to worry about the pitching. I really am. I mean, Jack Flaherty looked great yesterday, and Tyler Glassdown, Yamamoto. Just honestly, keep your fingers crossed. Keep your fingers and your toes and everything you have to cross it, that those 2 guys will be ready to go. Because if you give me those 3, we'll figure out the 4th guy. We have enough depth in this organization to figure out the 4th guy, but it's starting to get worrisome because of how late you are in the season. And the truth of the matter is that all of the guys that were vying for that 4th spot, I mean, just look at it. Buehler, Kirsch, Miller, Stone, all those guys have major question marks right now. Major question marks. All 4 of them. It's just not what you want to see. Look, I know you don't want to hear it. I got to keep it 100 with you guys. Frank, question, do we honestly think Yamamoto has a chance tomorrow after how bad his last start was in the minors? It's a good question. I mean, the strikeouts were there. But still, I think that for Yamamoto, it's about you can't really look at the results necessarily of a minor league rehab start, because they're working on things. They're trying to find command. If the results aren't there as far as giving up runs, then that's fine. But I think for Yamamoto, it's just about seeing how he looks from a command standpoint, because the velocity was still over 95, averaging in those rehab starts. It's about just really going out there and going up against a lineup where you were hoping that he can be effective. I mean, you saw some ups and downs in the rehab starts, but I'm not overly concerned about it. I really am not. I think that Yamamoto is someone that has never been through that process before. He has never missed that amount of time before, and he was over it. He was ready to go and pitch on the big league stage once again. So you got to start the process somewhere at some point, and tomorrow is going to be that day. So look, if it doesn't go well, you at least know what you're going to be working with. And I think his last start in the minors, it really came down to the at-bat with Narvaez, where he has to throw 17 pitches, and he fouled off 11 pitches. He ends up throwing that, going 53 pitches in that start. So, yeah, he's going to be under a little pitch count. You're going to see some restrictions there in how many pitches he can throw. But, yeah, we got to see it. I mean, look, in 2 starts for OKC, and yeah, probably he could use another third. With the way they're using the bullpen, I would not have minded to see a third rehab start, but the results goes 4 innings, allowed 3 runs on 3 hits, allowed 1 home run, had 5 strikeouts and 2 walks, a 6.75 ERA. This year with the Dodgers, 14 starts, a 2.92 ERA, 84 strikeouts, 17 walks, 6 home runs, and 74 innings of work. So, look, if it was me, I would have given him 1 more rehab start. But on the same token, if they felt like, okay, we're not overly concerned about losing the division, let's see how he looks against big league hitters and better evaluate and assess what we have, then I'm fine with it. But if it's me, you're really compromising your bullpen at that point. But a couple more comments, guys. We got Walker isn't going to be getting it together in October. That's from Bubba M. Alex PPG, Team Nag, dude has better command than Buehler. The command and the spin, too. The spin. Dodger Boy 71, going to give you a fire take for this poll right here. Is Brad Penny available? No, I don't think Brad Penny is available. Do you even know how old Brad Penny is? He's 46 now. Brad Penny, Dodgers legend. Brad Penny, man. Man, he played 14 years, 6 years with the Marlins, 5 with the Dodgers, 2 with the Giants, 1 with the Cardinals, 1 with Boston, 1 with Detroit. Brad Penny. He did make 2 All-Star teams, by the way, with the Dodgers, 2006 and 2007. Wow. Pristine command, too. I mean, geez. He, kept the ball in the yard, too. He led the league with the Dodgers in 2007 with just .4 home runs per 9. Finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting. And, yeah, why are we going on a Brad Penny rabbit hole here? Juice Nero says DFA Walker Buehler. Orlando Belly crushed it at 7-14. Kevin Brown available. Okay, now, Delirium 9, based on his recent performance against Baltimore, I'm thinking the Red Sox or other AL East team will sign Walker to a 1-year deal. I see him doing that, too. D-Mac, the Costco guy, boom. Yeah, I see him signing a 1-year deal somewhere, some type of prove-it deal. I don't think he'll be back with the Dodgers. They will not make the qualifying offer to him. That will not be extended to him at this point. I mean, you're talking about over $20 million on a 1-year deal. He would accept that deal. So, yeah, it's definitely a kind of, it looks like at the very moment where this is trending, how things are looking right now, that it's going to be a very uneventful ending for Buehler in his Dodgers career. I'm not saying that he's not going to get another start or anything like that, but I can certainly say that the Dodgers will not have a lot of confidence in him to go out there and make a big postseason start if he's locating it like he was tonight. But BC MV3 carrying like most of the season. Too much dead weight. Belly bomb off Buehler. You know what's crazy is Seager's hit a home run off of Buehler this year. Bellinger's hit a home run off of Buehler this year. Michael Busch has hit a home run off Buehler this year. Teo will be back tomorrow. That's in Yangyi. That is the plan for Teoscar Hernandez, that he will be able to return tomorrow, that he'll be in the lineup. But who knows? That could change. And I think that the way that the Dodgers are looking at it right now, it's definitely a situation where you have to really consider the fact that you're trying to get this lineup, this 1 through 4, that hasn't played a ton of baseball. When you consider that it's these guys' first year together, you want them to get as much time together heading into the season as possible And with Mookie Betts coming back and Teoscar wants his numbers too, man. He's trying to get a bag in the offseason. So I certainly think that, I mean, he's got to be back hopefully tomorrow, because I don't want to see Max Muncy in that 4th spot not delivering. We got BC Taylor got his only hit off that terrible pitch. That's from BC, but we still lost though. Couple more here. You got Dodger players' body language tells me lack of confidence in Buehler. That's from Carl. NS DMAC, you can't feel positive about this team in the postseason. Be honest. I mean, I think the lineup is as good as it gets still, and it really comes down to the front of this rotation. Let's not minimize Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty has number 1 or number 2 starter stuff, especially when you pair his stuff with what this lineup has. I think the bullpen, if they're healthy, and yes, it's a big if, but right now they're in a good spot with the addition of Michael Kopech, with Evan Phillips pitching a lot better of late. He was in a midseason funk. He's got out of that. Vesia's been great all season. Blake Trinan looked elite on Saturday in those Pop-Tart City Connect uniforms. So, I mean, there is weapons in this bullpen. Brewstar's coming back. Ryan Brazier's looked really good since returning. So, I like this bullpen. I really do. No one really talks about him enough, in my opinion. And if you can guarantee me Glasnow and Yamamoto's health in 4, 5, 6 innings from those guys with this bullpen and this offense, I actually do feel good about this team. I really, really do. I feel better about this team than I felt about the 2022 team, about the 2023 team. And honestly, if you look at that 2021 team where Buehler was getting Cy Young votes and Julio was having a good year and you traded for Max Scherzer, that fell apart after the NLDS series. They really went for broke in that series when you had Max Scherzer coming out of the bullpen to save the day and get that save. And unfortunately, they just didn't have enough to get past the Braves. If they did, I think they would have won the World Series. But I still think the 2024 Dodgers have Shohei. They have Teoscar. You have more upside when it comes to pitching. So I think that this team has a lot more upside potential and better depth than 2021, 2022, and 2023. All the years in between the 2020 World Series. So I truly do. I mean, I keep it 100%. I give you guys my real thoughts. I mean, all I can say is I truly give you guys my real thoughts. I mean, that's just a fact here. And we'll break it down more in depth as well. We got Nando. Buehler ain't coming back next year. Totally agree with that. Yang Yi. Dodgers may need to sign 10 starting pitchers this offseason. Hey, don't forget, you have Shohei coming back, Gonsolin coming back, Gavin Stone, Bobby Miller, Landon Knack, Yamamoto, Glasnow. I mean, hey, I definitely like the idea of bringing back Flaherty too, at the right price. I mean, he definitely is loving life in L.A. Nando 390, Buehler watching Flaherty take his money, bags for next year. There you go. Penny was a horse from Gary. Yeah, he was. Comment Goat Torta for a chance to win a DMAC Loves Juicy Torta shirt. That's from Rookie Z3. Killing me with this one. DMAC, my wife turns 30. Can she get a B-Day shout out? LOL. Absolutely. Happy birthday to Mrs. Salazar. I wish the Dodgers could have given you a win on your birthday, but at least Shohei gave you a stolen base. At least Mookie hit a home run for you, and there's always tomorrow. And your birthday present will get a Japanese pitching showdown with Shota Imanaga versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We got useless information. The 1993 starting pitchers never miss a start. Unreal. Ray Soto, it's information that I like. And it's crazy when you think about it, right? MV3 raked today and still lost. That's concerning from BC. I mean, you give up 10 runs, man. You give 10 runs. You got Nick Ramirez will be. It's like talking about Eddie Alvarez. Remember Eddie Alvarez in 2022, the speed skater, the ice skater. I mean, he's in that list of pitchers that you just kind of you don't think about anymore, right? Orlando, if Teo really wants to be a Dodger, he'll accept a Muncy deal, but he won't. Scherzer drank too much Budweiser and running out the postseason. Yeah, and he was kind of lifting up his shirt going crazy. We got Teoscar was supposed to play today, but the training staff worked on him yesterday, so he was delayed for tomorrow. J Kid 323. Yeah, did some work with the training staff. he felt better about taking one more day. Talked to Sportsnet before the game, so he's going to be fine. Dustin May, it's possible he can return too, dealing with that esophagus surgery. If everything goes well, he's in the mix as well. JM, D-Mac, I just need an explanation on why Glasnow, Flaherty, Yamamoto, Kirsch isn't a freaking insane starting four. It's all dependent on health. And look, Glasnow threw a 25-pitch bullpen on Saturday. He's going to pitch a sim game soon. He's going to need one more rehab start, at least one rehab start, to get back on the mound as well. So Yamamoto went through the process. Glasnow has to go through and finish the process. And as soon as they do that, the vibes are going to pick up. I guarantee it. But that's going to do it, guys, for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Guys, got a super chat here at the end. JM199, Glasnow, Flaherty, Yamamoto, Kirsch dominate. Yeah, I got an early day tomorrow. We're going to Clayton Kershaw's Dreamfields event. Should be exciting, but we are going to do a Dodgers dugout live tomorrow. We got Christopher overreact to a random loss on a Monday, but you win the war pitching Ramirez to save Kopech, Phillips, Trinan, Hudson for October. Christopher, I said that 15 minutes ago, and I couldn't agree with you more. You can't manage every game like it's Game 7 of the World Series. Doc certainly didn't do that, and you're going to need those guys before then because you have Yamamoto tomorrow going 3 or 4 innings. So you're going to have to lean on the bullpen heavily, and all those guys will be available. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thank you, NS. Thank you, Cesar. Big Mac, greater than sign DMac. I like that. Hey, I haven't had a Big Mac in a while, man. Jeez. Thank you, JM. Thank you, Legal Mind. Appreciate all you guys that rock with this show. You make it the #1 Dodgers show on YouTube, so special thanks to you. Like I said, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue.